For this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Man in the Sea Museum located in Panama City Beach, Florida. This video is going to be a challenge. For me, I'm very enthusiastic about undersea adventures, and I grew up watching TV shows like SeaQuest and movies like The Abyss and Leviathan and The Hunt for Red October, and I've always been fascinated with submarines and underwater exploration and everything. So this museum is just highly appealing to me. I'm not going to be able to stay neutral. There's definitely going to be some personal bias. Perhaps I watched a little too much of goofy movies like Raise the Titanic or whatnot, but I don't know. I love learning about the Sealab and all the other innovations, created by these pioneers of the sea. So with that introduction, let's talk a little bit about the Man in the Sea Museum located here in Panama City Beach, Florida. The first thing that I've noticed is Panama City Beach is kind of an unusual place to put a museum like this. This is mostly like a spring break mecca for, beach goers and go-kart tracks and family entertainment centers and arcades. There's not a lot of museums here, so this is kind of like that, hidden gem of the area. So let's talk about some of the exhibits they have on display here. So the first thing is that giant red craft that's basically sitting outside. That's SEALAB I. It was the world's first underwater living facility. And that giant white structure that's also outside was the U.S. Navy Deep Dive System Mark I, which was their experimental deep dive system from 1968. Now, there were several SEALAB experiments commissioned. The yellow display that's inside the museum is a model of SEALAB III. Now, this museum's been open for over 30 years, and it really is nice that they have preserved a lot of these pieces of equipment about all these technical achievements. All the things we know about deep diving and submarines and all that other stuff, it was learned and pioneered with the equipment that you see displayed here. So the Man in the Sea Museum is run by a non-profit 501c, and that's why the admission prices are very reasonable. An adult admission is going to run you about $10. Kids ages 5 to 16 are $6. Military and veterans are also $6, as well as first responders. And children 4 and under get in for free. Now, the operating hours for this museum are a little weird. They are open on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And they are closed on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesdays. When I was a kid, I used to go to this museum down in Miami called Planet Ocean. I loved this place. It was just a great experience. One of the things that you could do down there was climb around inside a submarine, and that's something you can do here at Man in the Sea. Now, don't try to find Planet Ocean anymore, because that particular museum is defunct. It went out of business because of hurricane damage caused by Hurricane Andrew in 1992. So that place has been gone a long, long time. But this place does have that same vibe to me. Just the ability to climb around inside the Sealab that's, outside. It's just a fun experience. I had a great time while I was here. I think I spent about 3 hours looking at all the exhibits. Although it is a small museum, I have like a personal bias towards this particular topic, so I think I spent more than what a typical person would spend. I think most people would probably spend an hour to 90 minutes in this museum because, like I said, it's not particularly big, but it's just fascinating to me. Now, when you first get here and pay the admission fee, the curator is going to take you to the back of the building where there's a theater. And that's where you're going to watch an introduction movie about the Sealab and all the other various exhibits that are located here at the Man in the Sea Museum. I believe that movie was about 20 minutes long, and they do go into a lot of detail about the Sealab experiments and, what the U.S. Navy was trying to achieve and learn from those projects. So what's the bottom line for the Man in the Sea Museum? Well, obviously, I loved it, and I definitely recommend it if you have an interest in, underwater exploration or, submarines or even, people who are into the U.S. Navy would probably find this museum fascinating. And since this museum has been open for 30 years, you can tell this place has developed a dedicated following. I've never really seen another museum like this, at least not since Planet Ocean, and that museum's been closed for over 30 years. This is just kind of like a very unique offering, and there's nothing else like this here in Panama City Beach. Well, those are all my thoughts for the Man in the Sea Museum. For the rest of this video, I'm just going to play a little music to wrap it up. Thanks for joining me on this tour of the Man in the Sea Museum. If you enjoyed this vlog of the Adventure Schmuck, don't forget to like and subscribe. See everyone next week.